Hey, hello. All right. I want to do a quick tutorial on doing a double jump in GB Studio. For this, you need a couple things. You need the player fields plugin, and you need the store player fields plugin, which are both here. You can grab these if you're in the Discord, which this is what this video is for. If you're in the Discord, it's pinned in plugins help in the spreadsheet, and you can like grab it. You're gonna have to back out to the top level right here to GB Studio plugins, and then like the downloads like a zip file right here. But anyway, so let's do the little double jump. So right here, right now, I've got like a little platformer situation right here. Little guy can jump. It's a regular default jump. And no double jump. He can just regular jump. It's cute. So here, how do we do our little double jump? All right. So first of all, we're gonna have to fake the first jump. The way this is gonna work is we're gonna have to have a jump, and then we're gonna have to have a second jump, and we're gonna have to have a variable to lock you out from being able to jump again right after that. Otherwise, you just be able to float around like Kirby, and we don't want that. Well, maybe you want that. I don't think anybody else. If you're looking at this, you probably don't want that. All right. So first of all, let's get an attach script. So attach script button, and we're gonna swap. Hit that. Put that on the jump button on A. Right now, we're gonna override our default action. So if we run it again, then if we hit A, then can't jump. Cool. So now we just have to fake the jump, and this is where the player fields plugin comes in. So we're gonna go to player. So we're gonna player field update, and we're gonna do velocity y. Velocity y is going up. Velocity x is going left and right. Velocity y is going up and down. So this is basically what we're going to use to mimic a jump. If you are used to the regular events, this is the same thing as the bounds. It's literally the same thing, the same code and everything, except now we can put an actual value in, so you can like fine tune what you want to do. So for the player velocity, going up is negative, going down is positive. So we're going to put a negative value in here, and we got to put a pretty big one in here. So I'm going to put 25,000 in here. So when we run that, now we can jump. So we can jump up here. Cool. The issue, however, is that we've just put a jump on here. So every time we push A, this is really just a regular button press. He's gonna do his little Y velocity bounce thing around here like Kirby. And so we're gonna need to prevent that. Which is why you can't just put the jump, you can't just put the jump on the button. So gonna have to lock this out. So how are we gonna lock this out? Let's delete this. So first of all, we need to check and see if we are on the ground or off the ground. So we're gonna go if variable is true. Well, actually, first, let me delete that. First, we need to store another player field. So store player field to variable, and we're going to do player is on the ground. Now this will let us check and see if the player is on the ground. I'm going to store this to a global variable, which I already have. You can see down here, I already got, this is a project that's pretty old, and it's got a whole bunch of other stuff on it. So I already have grounded, but you can just pick a global variable, and then there's a little pencil down here where you can like rename it to something that you can remember. I already have grounded, so I'm just going to use that. So we're going to store this to a variable, and then we need to check the variable and tell it to do a thing we need it to do. So we're going to get an if variable is true or false. And like this grounded, it will come up as a 1 or a 0, which is the same as true or false. So we can just have a if true or false for grounded. Let's set that to grounded. And if we are we push A and we are on the ground, then we want to jump. So we're going to put our player field update that we had before, and we're going to do y velocity like we did before, and we're going to do minus 2500. You can make this number whatever you want it to be. You know, I have my little engine field stuff up here at the top just so I don't have to go into the actual settings. And I just changed my gravity while jumping and my maximum fall velocity. I kind of like a little floatier jump just so you have time to kind of react to stuff as the player. But anyway, that's irrelevant. So now we have a button press that will allow us to jump like our normal jump. So now we've constructed what was basically the original normal jump. So we can't double jump, and we can't jump after a fall anymore. If I can, I'm doing this one-handed, sorry. So we fall, can't jump, but once we hit the ground, we can jump again, and we cannot double jump. So now how do we do our double jump? Well, now we need a variable to be turned on and then turned off when we jump. So it'll be on if we're already on the ground and we push the jump button for the first time. It will set the variable to true. And if we push the button again while we're in the air, it will set it to false, but it will give us that second jump. If we push the jump button a third time while we're in the air, it will check and see that the variable is false, and it will not let us jump. So let's get into this. This might be a little bit confusing. Hopefully that made sense, but we're going to run through it right quick. So right now we have the regular jump, and it's going to get a new variable. So set variable to true. And we're going to call this D jump. I already got one here. You can name it whatever you want to. It's another global variable. So feel free to name it double jump. You can name it whatever you want. So push the A button. When we push the A button, we will jump, and it will set this double jump variable to true. So now we're in the air. So in this situation, we've pressed the A button. It's thrown us in the air, and it set the variable true, and we're in midair. And so at this point, ground is false, which means that if we push the A button again, we need it to jump again. So grounded is false because we are in the air now. So down here in the else, which is the false area for this in this situation, we're going to have it check for if true. If I can type. We're going to have it check for if D jump or double jump is true. And if it is true, then we're going to turn that bad boy false, preventing us from jumping again. So set variable set to false, and we're going to set D jump to false. But then we're going to copy our little player field update from true down here and paste that. It doesn't really matter what order you have it in. All this happens in like a split second, so it's fine. Paste event after, and so we got this ready to go. And if we go back to our little jump test, we should see that our little guy, sorry if this is a little laggy, so now we can double jump, and we can't jump more than twice. And And if we jump up here and we fall, no jump. Perfect. So this is absolutely exactly what you wanted. So we did it. That's pretty much it. That's the double jump, and it's all on button press. It's not on update, so it's very efficient. In terms of coding, shouldn't lag you out. I've done this on DMG. I usually work. I've started working in color, which gives you a little bit of a processing boost. So just be aware that when you do stuff like this, that when you're testing and stuff, try to do it on DMG just so you know whether or not it's lagging if you are targeting DMG. I can do the fall since we're here. If you notice, there was a little fall animation or a fall state when our little test guy fell. Unfortunately, we have to put this on update. Now, this is a technique. If you're new to GB Studio, this is a technique that people use when they need something to happen simultaneously, or like running along with a bunch of other stuff. We don't have an update, and it's like updates every frame, and we don't have this on the player. We don't have it on scene. It's only on other actors. So we usually put like a controller actor and then make a different state that is blank to hide it, so it won't show up. If you noticed, you didn't really see this little arrow here, so just put it right there, and then you pin it to the screen because it has to be on screen, otherwise it won't run. So on update tab, this is pretty much the same technique, except so we're storing a variable, and then we're checking that variable and telling it to do something, whether or not it's true or false, depending on whether or not it's true or false. So right here we have player velocity y, and we're storing that to a variable called y velocity. Y velocity is, like I said before, going up is a negative number, going down is a positive number. So we're checking for a positive value, which is when the player is falling. When the player is on the ground, it's 0. It's just flat. So, and when they're going up, it's negative. It's pulling them up, and when going down, it's positive. So we're checking for positives. So on the if, we're checking velocity y. If it's greater than 1, you can make this 0. I made it 1 just so I have a little bit of a buffer, but and then you set it to a just different sprite state. So if it's true, then we switch our little guy to his falling state. If I come over here to the sprites, I have a separate falling state right here, and it's set to platformer. It's only the one frame of him just like falling with his legs up, and I've like put this on all of these because sometimes if you're pushing the control left or right, sometimes it'll like switch to one of these other ones. So I just put that one frame on all these just so it it looks the part. And then, so we've got the falling if it's true, and if it's false, and down here in the else, we'll just put it back down to default. That's perfectly fine. And then, so that'll work for when he's on the ground and stuff, because this is still running in the background. So even when you're walking and stuff, this is running. And I say that's unfortunate because you're gonna have to have enemies or like other stuff on update moving around, and so like anything extra that you have on update is gonna like contribute to whatever lag you're gonna get. Game with color is not as big of a deal, but for DMG it definitely starts to add up pretty quickly. But yeah, you don't really need it, and honestly, if you are targeting color and DMG, you can put like an if here. There's an event actually that I put on in it that you can, when the game loads, you can have it check for if I have it disabled here. Let me re-enable it. Let me see, enable events. Enable else. So like if color mode is available, I just have it do nothing, so it runs perfect. It runs this on update scripts, and if it is not, if it's a DMG and not color, then I just have it hide itself, and hiding it won't run. So right now DMG players won't get that extra little frame. They'll be able to double jump, but they won't be able to get that extra frame of falling. But that's the whole thing. It's a little bonus tip. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Hit me up if you need anything else or if you need me to explain something. But for the most part, this is how it works. This is how you do a double jump, and it's very efficient and very nice. So thank you for watching.